Hey everyone, TRVS here, back with another gameplay commentary. And today's gameplay takes place on the special operation map on Far Cry 6 called Los Tres Santos. And this one is quite easy because there is a large fountain at the extraction point where you can keep the PG-240X, cooled off constantly. And it's not very difficult at all. It's a relatively short mission, and I use the same strategy as always. Use the El Gladiador Supremo for speedrunning to run to the PG-240X and then return to the rendezvous point, and then go from there and proceed to pick off enemies, keep them at a distance and to keep them at bay and whatnot, and get that going. So that's just a brief overview of the gameplay. I could actually use the Triador, Supremo in this gameplay because it didn't bug out anything. So the only map I couldn't do that on was the last one, Cocodrilo, and this is the fourth entry into this series, and we have two more after this to go, and then that'll be it as far as I think Far Cry 6 content, because the game's kind of stale and dry right now. And that's gonna conclude the series here shortly. So, and then I'll be on to other games such as Dying Light 2 whenever that gets a quality of life update, and then possibly Back 4 Blood. We'll see. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands comes out as well, and Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga would all be great games, I think, and phenomenal content to cover on this channel, which I want to bring a variety of different genres and games into the mix to spice it up a bit and not get boring with the first person shooters and whatnot. And that's because that's typically what I play, but I want to play other games as well, that have a different mixture of melee combat, story and whatnot, and, bring variety into the mix. But, today's topic, I want to just discuss why I think Dying Light 2 failed to meet the mark compared to, its predecessor, the first game, Dying Light 1. I've always had fond memories on Dying Light 1, and this is not just nostalgia speaking, of the following being one of the greatest video game DLCs I've ever played throughout my entire gaming career. And I don't see Dying Light 2 doing anything to that extent or of that magnitude in the near future, because the game is still missing quality of life features such as New Game Plus, which is a huge deal given how some of the game mechanics work, regarding the inhibitors in the game, and being pretty much soft locked from getting the platinum trophy unless you exploit the save files in the cloud, which is kind of lame in my opinion. And the nighttime it's not as scary as the first game. I don't feel like the environment is as dark and bleak as in the first game. It's the parkour is great, it's phenomenal and all that. That's the best part of Dying Light 2, but the melee combat just doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel as heavy as in the first game, and it's a shame because I put hundreds of hours into the first game, and I thought that Dying Light 2 would expand on the original formula and just refine some of the game mechanics, but nope, I was wrong. And I think it is a downgrade in a lot of ways, actually, and that's just unfortunate, a byproduct of the state of the gaming industry lately, and that these companies feel like it's okay to push out, half-baked products such as CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk, and we saw how that go, and no company should ever, release a game in that state, that horrible of a state, for that matter. And Lewis and I, a close friend of mine, talked about this, in depth a few days ago and said, there needs to be some repercussions for companies that release half-baked games that really are bugged out to the point where you can't even play them cohesively and fluently, and just have a multitude of issues and problems. And I just feel like companies like Techland and stuff need to reflect and say, hey, if we need another 6 months to push this product out and get it to the best state possible for the consumer, that's what we need to do. It is what it is, and that I know they have to meet deadlines and whatnot, but Dying Light 2, I think, suffered from being released prematurely, and I think it was too ambitious of a project, when if they only would have expanded on the first one performance and graphically, and added a few new mechanics to the first game, that would have been perfect in my mind, because as of right now, I think the first game is the more well-rounded game, and I have, much better memories playing the first game, and I haven't touched the second game in weeks because it's just missing core features that I think should be a part of every AAA title in this day and age. But that's my rant on why I think Dying Light 2 is a step back, and it's a step down from Dying Light 1, and it's a shame, but I've come to expect that nowadays with big titles being released. But I want to thank all of you for sticking around and watching this gameplay and listening to my commentary, and I'm trying my best to keep it smooth throughout the whole thing. And I want to thank everybody who watches, and I'll see you all on the next one. All right, have a great day. Bye bye.
Weapons getting hot. Quit playing matchmaker and pick me up. So it's going well.
I'll call you back.
Pickup right about now.
Danny, sorry. The dragon ate my client. Now I gotta wait for his wallet to pass. Then I'll come get you.
That could take days.
Good news, Danny. Lola finally got paid. On my way.
I hope you washed your hands.
Please. I got a whole crate of stolen hand sanitizer. The good stuff, too.
I'm really happy lobby for you. Now just hurry. I'm dead if I don't get these in water soon. Mierda! It's going to explode! Oh shit, yeah! Have to get this thing in water! Nice job canceling Julio Bieber's pop tour, Danny.